Welcome back. A group of young men have been boasting online about having sex with underage girls. The police says it's offensive stuff and they've been monitoring it, but there isn't enough evidence to lay criminal charges. The government's new Harmful Digital Communications or Cyberbullying Bill has just come into effect. It means cyberbullies could be fined or imprisoned for making threats online and posting offensive material with intent to cause harm. A suicide prevention group told us they welcome the bill.
I've been working with young people recently and telling them about this piece of legislation, and they certainly sit up and take notice, and they start to think that maybe things they think are funny or harmless may not be viewed that way by the courts, and there could be some really serious consequences. So I think that deterrent message is really important.
So how will complaints be processed, and does the bill go far enough? Joining me now from Wellington is Justice Minister Judith Collins. Thank you for joining us this morning, Minister. Let's start with what is topical right now, this Roastbusters case. It's all over the media. Everyone is interested in this to see what will happen. With this new legislation, would this have any bearing on this case? Would these people be held to account?
Well, I don't think we can actually speak about an individual matter, particularly when I know that the police are investigating it. But what I can say is that the sort of behaviour of posting online videos that are there to embarrass and to humiliate people, that is something that would be covered by this bill.
Okay, you can't speak specifically about this case, but in a situation similar to this, where a victim hasn't officially come forward to complain, can they still be prosecuted under this new bill?
Well, yes, and we're talking about obviously the posting of the video, not of the actions that they were recording. But yes, there is actually a provision for the police, for a school principal or for parents, as well as the victim of any bullying, to actually bring some action and to take the matter further. So even if the young person doesn't want to, then actually someone else can do it for them. But the main thing is to actually have this two-step process whereby there's a referral to an approved agency, someone like NetSafe or Department of Internal Affairs, to actually try and sort out the issue, because you're mostly talking about young people, and if that can't be sorted out, then to go to the district court.
Just to clarify, offensive material here, are we talking via text, email, Facebook, Twitter, all of the above?
Yes, all of the above. So basically it's accepting and trying to future-proof the new technologies that we use. And for many of our young people, and actually some of us people of my age, we spend a lot of time communicating via these sorts of technologies.
How will you establish whether something is an insult? I mean, we're talking playground insults here. That girl's ugly, that girl's fat. I mean, kids do that, it's a reality. How do you know when it goes one step further? And how will parents know what they can complain about and what is just playground banter?
Well, you've got a very good point, which is why we don't want to go in with a sledgehammer and to send everything off to court. That's why we have the approved agency that sits down as a mediator to try and sort out the issues. And we all know about schoolyard bullying. We've all seen it, and some of us will have been at the receiving end of it. However, this goes a lot further than this. We've got kids who are killing themselves, and frankly, we need to do something about it. And we need to give them a safe haven to go to where they're not going to end up in trouble, where there's an agency that's actually more powerful and they can see as more independent than their schools or their parents, because lots of kids won't tell their parents, they won't tell the schools, and even if they've got somewhere else to go, just in case they don't want to do that.
There will be parents and children watching right now that this is happening to them. What is the process? So if they've got this harmful material now, where do they go with it?
Well, right at the moment, the bill has just been introduced to Parliament. It still needs to go through the parliamentary process, which is always at least over 6 months. And for a start, what they can do is to know that help is on its way. There is already agencies such as NetSafe who already help people in these circumstances, but this is actually giving them some legislative authority. And also, if people won't stop their bullying behaviour, which is is really leading people to have depression and all sorts of other problems, then of course they can go to the district court after that. So there's some help on its way, and it's going to be a safe haven for people.
In terms of these penalties, 3 months jail, $2,000, some would say that's too light.
Well, that's a matter that can be dealt with in the Select Committee, but I'd also say that at the moment there's really nothing. And we're mostly talking about young people. And we don't want to criminalise young people if we possibly can. Having said that, if they will not stop their behaviour and it leads to other people self-harming or all sorts of other problems, then something has to be done. So that's the sort of thing we can look at in the Select Committee, and I'd encourage anybody who's interested to submit to the Select Committee and to say what they think.
Okay, Justice Minister Judith Collins, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tony.